Hello everyone and welcome to the oNiD Multiclass World Cup. This is round one, we're at Watkins, Glen. My name is Drinks, I'm being the one running the cameras tonight, and I'm joined by Dominic Burwheat. Hello.
How's it going tonight, everybody?
It's going good. Just watch Jonathan
Looking
Earl
like
return to garage.
we're out here in the qualifying session. We got about 24 minutes, just shy of that, left to go, and looking like we got car number 11 out there with the fast lap so far. There's that Tut Gibson sitting on top of the board.
Yep, and because of the way the and overall class is set up, it's through SGP ranking. So Tut Gibson, a very fast person, but because their ranking is below a certain level, they are AM. So it's less about skill. It's kind of skill, kind of just how the ranking is. If you haven't raced as much or if you've done poorly recently, then you're putting AMs. But I'm sure that will even out as the races go on.
Yep, definitely got a sort of a multi-class setup going on here with AM and Pro drivers, but currently the AMs are definitely leading the charge.
There's just the one AM leading the charge. Got a few spread in the midfield and then a whole bunch further down, as you can see. But that, it's good. Just pop into the chat and say hello to Petter Jelinek, Sam, Wilbert Usanen, Petty Carl, Tim Bob, Ryan Freegard, Luke Sherlock, Brendan Rooney, Tim Bob, and Edition Dutch. And Daniel Hearn. Hello! Time to get bullied by GT3s? Absolutely. I haven't driven a GT3 in a while. I've done so much GT4 racing. I love it. Have you played much GT4 racing in ACC, or do you not have the DLC?
I do have the DLC. Like I was explaining earlier, though, I am not the biggest ACC connoisseur. So I would definitely say that I've spent most of my time in the GT3 cars. Not saying that I'm any good in those either, though.
It's definitely quite a move to go from regular AC to regular ACC racing. You've also dabbled with iRacing as well.
Yeah, definitely lately been more on the iRacing, but I haven't been doing much road racing on it. Been focused more on the driving around in circles, like the typical American.
We all love a bit of levels around here.
They are definitely fun, that's for sure.
Oh, got someone going off over there. Bit of racing and qualifying. That's naughty, naughty, naughty.
Yep, definitely on the drivers to give each other the space needed, and it's looked down upon, we'll say, to pull up on the back of somebody and expect them to let you around.
As they unfortunately run wide and absolutely destroy those advertising billboards.
Might have got a little damage on the vehicle as well, I'd say.
Quite an amount, yes. Just clicking over and seeing who's improving, and I click on my good friend Colin Cameron. I wish the best for him.
Definitely got some tight times up here on the top three, all within 1/10 of a second. Pretty
And the
impressive,
top
honestly.
14 all within a second. That is quite juicy. Missing Jongen on the top. Well, surprisingly, Jongen is still on track and has not set a time yet. Or a valid one at that. Yeah, his last lap time was a 2:38, which would have been a pit exit time, so we can see what Jongen will do.
Yeah, I wonder if they just waited to get out onto track, or if they possibly had some difficulties with other cars.
It's definitely something around here. We have 30 GT3 cars on track, which is quite a field, and it's not the longest track this, so it's quite easy to step on someone just getting a bit too close when you're on a lap, and if they're on a lap, you've got to back off. You can't race them, as per the rules. And Jongen goes 11th, 7/10 off of the lead. It's quite tight at the front.
That's definitely pretty impressive. The top three are all sitting there. What is that? Third place is only 7.5 of a second behind first. Pretty impressive.
Let's see who else is improving on their time. Jongen is currently 2/10 off on their time. Leighton Austin got 3/10. Let's pop on him. A Pulse Sim Sports, a new addition to the Pulse Sim Sports team. Lost a little bit of time going around those last two corners there. Let's see where that moves him to. That puts him in the lead. Look at that. Oh, bouncing down to Jongen. He's 5/10 up at the moment. We're also running to the end of the GT3 qualifying time. None of the GT4s are on track, which would mean that it's split qualifying for them. So when 15-minute hits, everyone on a GT3 lap will have to finish their lap, come back into the pits, and GT4 field will all scramble out. Evening, Ben22. Mr. Ben Brown himself. Oh, this might put Jongen in the lead. Look at that. A lot of fight for the lead right now. Still top three within half a tenth of each other. That's crazy.
Yeah, they've cycled out a new top two, but made the top three even tighter in doing so.
And Tut Gibson, currently a 10.5 up. It's scramble, scramble, scramble. Who's going to get the top?
It's got another AM actually jumped up into fourth position there, Copeland, with making a charge.
Yeah, this is going to be some great racing tonight, I think. Unless they all come together in the first corner. But let's hope that does not happen.
P1 at Watkins Glen is quite a tricky one with the downhill braking zone, but I would not put it up there with the Monza.
There was also Leighton Austin behind Tut Gibson as they both go faster, but Tut Gibson just manages to beat out on Austin there on the... following each other, but it wasn't enough for Austin there. Still half a tenth between the two, but Jongen and Copeland have jumped down a fair bit. Jongen currently a 10.5 up again. Move down the field, we've got Jonathan Earl, 3/10 up. Ollie Knowles in 20th, currently 2/10 up. We've got a few further down the field, quite a bit up, as I expect they're improving their lap times, as Jongen is getting impeded. And does lose out on that time he gained there, but if they're on a valid lap, then that's just what's got to happen.
Coming a little close there, but it's looking like he might actually get another lap. He's only got about 45 more seconds until that 15 minutes is up, and then so it's looking like he's gonna just back off and pull on into the pits.
Got Adam Gardner for Remnant Racing, currently about 2/10 up, going around this corner. That would move them up a few spots if they keep that or improve on that. The times are just getting faster and faster here. Everyone's learning the track, learning the car, learning the conditions, because it's quite warm. It's 30 degrees ambient and a 38-degree track temperature. Fully optimum, just cloudy, but no wind. So everyone's
I was looking at it as well. The session started out as track optimum, but so I'm quite surprised with their times increasing, with the track temperature also increasing as well.
It stayed pretty steady, but you know, everyone's just got to keep their head down and set that time. Unfortunately, Adam lost a lot of that time there, so he's just going to dive into the pits, and now it's GT4 time. Let's pop on to Daniel Heron. Now, this is a fast boy. I know from experience, because I've raced with him plenty in GT4. He is rapid in that Porsche. Looks like we've got we've got a couple more GT3s still going on their lap times. Jonathan Earl, 2/10 up. Are you a fan of Watkins, Glen?
Definitely a huge fan of the Watkins Glen circuit. If I had to choose two tracks from ACC, it'd definitely be Watkins Glen, and then Bathurst would be my two choices. Other than that, I just don't have enough experience on the game to choose a third.
Yeah, gotta love the mountain.
Yeah, I think that's kind of just it's like I'd say if Nord's Life was in here, I think everybody would also agree that that would be one of the top favorites.
Oh, I bet as everyone's queuing up at the end of the lap. Just jumping onto Daniel Lindblom here because he's a madman choosing the Maserati as well as Sean Smith. If you are
If I
unfamiliar with the world of GT4 racing and ACC, the Maserati has no traction control and no ABS.
That's exactly what I was just about to ask. If I remember correctly, that thing is pretty much just a driver's car at heart.
Very much so, but you've really got to be good at it to be competitive. But if you are very good at it, it is very competitive. Lindblom and a Maserati, brave. That's just Lindblom. He's always in the Mazda. We've also got to show love to the Baby Ginetta. Not particularly special in the regards of not having TC or ABS like the Maserati, but this thing is truly a wonderful thing to drive. It handles like a beauty. It just has one absolutely massive flaw, and that it tops out on most tracks. Is there something that shows up
Uh,
who's in GT3 and who's in GT4? Yes. So if you look at these standings on the left side, currently in the way this is set, all these silver cars are GT4, but there's a little blue triangle in the bottom right corner which indicates a GT4 class. There's different colours which indicates the different classes in ACC, but a dark blue triangle means GT4. Got our first GT4 time on the board. 1:54.8, and that's quite fast. Sam is right in saying that as well. Yep, the white are GT3 Pros, red are GT3 AMs, and the silvers are the GT4s. But that's just how this is set up in terms of having drivers in different classes. But in terms of different vehicle class, blue triangle.
with about 5 minutes down, it seems about just shy of half of the field still hasn't got a time in. So I'm wondering if when they were all stacking up there at the last turn, some of them just decided to go back to pits and kind of just start their lap over again.
It's very possible that they might have run wide at a corner and invalidated. Because it's all showing them as in recent lap times. We watched Marco L put himself into GT4 6th place. Who else can we watch? Got Luke Sherlock currently 9/10 up on their lap time in the wonderful looking oNiD Racing Stronger Mercedes AMG GT4.
I do gotta say that definitely is a good looking livery on that AMG.
Can thank Ben22 Racing for that. Makes wonderful liveries. Crosses the line 1.3 seconds up. Does not move position, I don't think. I must have missed that. Yellow flag as Yellowneck pulls over after saying their time. Oh, got someone in the Camaro. I think we've got 2 Camaros on track. Yes, we do. We've also got Hibibovic.
Got to appreciate the little shout to the NASCAR side of things. Little Jeff Gordon style livery.
Yeah, there's quite a few NASCAR liveries out in the owned community. I have one that I made myself that I run on the Friday, was it 2.4 on Jimmy's side.
Nice. Yeah, it's definitely cool seeing some of the NASCAR liveries. I always think it's kind of funny though when you have them on non-American vehicles, I guess you'd say. You know, so if you put one on like an AMG or like a BMW or a Lamborghini, I always think that's kind of funny.
Yeah, it does look quite out of place, but because this Camaro just is a NASCAR, it fits just perfectly.
Yeah, it just works out real good. And the fact that Jeff Gordon definitely drove for Chevy, so just works.
Yep, mine was the Alex Bowman Ally Racing. I'm not too familiar with the actual NASCAR teams and drivers, but that's the one I based it on, and it fit perfectly. Looks great. And Johnny
Yeah, the
Ashley liked it
Allied
so much that he
liveries.
used it in the AMS race the other week.
Yeah, the Ally liveries always definitely look good, no matter what kind of cars they put them on.
You know, it's based on a Camaro, and it went on a Camaro, and it fit on the Camaro, so it all works. Let's see, what else have we got going on here? Got the 2 Alpines in the lead now, with Harry Brooks and Scott Ticehurst. Quite nimble, speedy vehicles, these ones. We currently don't have much improvement, but we do have Blomqvist up 2.5 tenths. Better Jelinek in 4th, also improving slightly on their lap. With only 5 minutes to go, people might be pushing to go even faster, or just think, I've done well enough, this is where I'm starting.
Yeah, they could be doing that. Possibly doing just tires change maybe. You know, if they've been out there for a while, possibly just need a fresh set of tires last 5-minute push to the end.
Well, they do have unlimited tyre sets for this race. By unlimited, it just means 50, but you'd be hard pressed to use 50 tyres in any race.
That is right. I forget that you guys are capable of monitoring those things on the ACC side.
Yes, for the oNiD 24, I can't remember how many tyre sets we had, but we were limited. But because of all the wet running, it was perfect. I think we had 10 tyre sets for 24 hours. I think that's what it was.
That Man, that's making tires last right there, I feel like.
Oh yeah, but there was plenty of wet running, and you actually have unlimited wet tyres. As the
Yeah,
person I was
exactly.
just spectating left, and so now we're just looking at Johnny Ashley. who is also in a very nice livery.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice color. I like the light blue.
Very good. Let's see. Marco L on an improvement now.
I don't know about the DeWalt, but we'll let that slide. Blue, it should be yellow if he's DeWalt.
Well, it's blue for racing stronger. Some people take a lot of different lines through the bus stop there. Some people wash out wide, some people keep it in narrow.
And some people take just whatever it gives them, like me.
Sometimes you want to go narrow, the car goes, nah, I want to go wide.
Yeah, you always show up with a plan of what you want to happen. When you get out the other side it's you know, did that actually happen or not?
Definitely comes with experience. Got the Camaro in the background warming up his tyres, so he must have just come back out on track. Marker L now up 2/10. Also got Ticehurst up 1.5 tenths on their lap. That will put them in the lead if they can maintain that. They're only at the beginning of the lap as well. Let's see how much they can keep that. Because they might go flying. Coming around the last corner, Marco L up 4 tenths. And it jumps back. It's jumping up and down a lot. But coming onto the final straight, up 3 tenths. That will move them up into 38th, I believe. Yes. There's Luke Sherlock. Yep, coming through sector 2. Currently up 2.8. We do have an... Oh, no, it changed. For a second there, it told me that Norman Bruce was 5 seconds up on their lap time, which would have put them up in the front pack. And then it's jumped back down to 3 tenths.
Yeah, I'd say a timing loop glitch on that one.
Yes, let's just say that. Let's just... Yeah. They are 6 tenths up now, though, so they are improving greatly. Got 2 seconds to the car in front of them, so hopefully they can get that time. There's 1 minute remaining, which I think they have enough time to cross the line for one more final lap, so wish them the best on there. Got Daniel Hearn, currently 2.5 tenths up going around the last few corners. Might be able to misplace those Alpines in front of him. It looks like he's going to. And he does. By 20 milliseconds. Only just beat them. As I said, he's a fast boy in those GT4s.
Definitely waiting to the end of the session to do that. That's for sure. I wonder if that was holding cards close to his chest or just that's when he finally got his lap in.
He set some good laps in early on, but I guess he just pushed for that final bit right at the end. You can see Daniel Limborn, 2.5 tenths up around the last corner. He did a bit of a wall scrape there and just lost all of the time. That was very unfortunate. I just caught that. I think he crossed the line for another lap, but he does have that Camaro in front of him. So coming to the end of qualifying now, drivers will be finishing their final lap. Now it's telling me that Blomqvist is 27.5 seconds up, which is of course wrong.
That might jump him up to the lead.
Silly. Yeah, he's only 13 seconds off of P1. That would put him about 15 seconds ahead of P1 GT3. How silly. probably invalidated right there. Yeah, you did. Well, maybe because he invalidated, maybe he just jumped the bus stop entirely. Yeah, it's very possible.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Got a lot of people in the pits now. A lot of people crossing the line for the finish. No one's currently improving. Only 3 cars on track. Only 2 on a valid lap who haven't crossed the line now. Just these two, Habibovic and Jelinek. There we go. That's qualifying over with. Ooh. So, to go through your top 10 of each class, just because there's that many people on track, we've got Tut Gibson P1, Leighton Austin P2, Jongen P3, Coupland P4, Gardner P5, Shahabi P6, Earl P7, Wacker P8, Tomlinson P9, and Matt Holman P10. And for your GT4, got Hearn P1, Brooks P2, Ticehurst P3, Plaza P4, Jelinek P5, Thorpe P6, Lindblom P7, Marco L P8, Hall P9, and Luke Sherlock P10. There are 48 cars on track at the moment. I am not going to read all 48. That's a lot of names, and I'm going to butcher half of them, I would believe.
Yep, it's always fun trying to pronounce names that you don't regularly say, right?
Like yours.
Yes, exactly.
A French name in America, that wouldn't go
Yeah,
well.
it throws a lot of people off, that's for sure.
Great field in multiclass. Yes, looking very tight around the grid. Got 18 GT4s and 30 GT3s. And for an hour of racing, they're going to be biting each other's heels. Let me through. Stay on your line.
Yeah, things should be good for what, probably the first I'd say 5 laps before the top GTs start catching the back of the GT4s.
Yeah, I would say about that 5-6 laps. And being in the GT4 is the worst feeling when you see the first one come, because you know early on it's just going to be a swarm of them, especially if they're in a line.
Yeah, especially if that top pack hasn't spread out very much. If they're still racing and you see them coming up in your rearview mirror, it's like, oh no, where do I go?
Apparently, I'm getting better in weird names every week. There's a lot of weird names. Well, weird to me as an English England man.
Yeah, I always say on the AC streams that I feel like Americans get a pass for butchering names just because we're so horrible at accents.
There's a lot of things you butcher, though.
Yeah, exactly. But names, oh man, you hand us a ripe European name and we will just annihilate it for you.
Hi, Ryan Davies. It's Ryan Davies. Look, it's Ryan Davies. Hello, Ryan Davies. As we are starting the formation lap, Tut Gibson doing a bit of weaving. And that is one of the things with ACC is the formation lap has no collision. So you will regularly see people just fly in and out of each other.
Yep, that always throws me off whenever I am playing the game. It's just such a weird thing to me.
Because AC, of course, only has standing starts, so there's no formation lap unless you set one up on yourself, in which case it's during the race, you know, like we did for the Daytona 500.
Exactly, yeah, you have to kind of self-police the formation lap, so to say.
Yep. And with iRacing, of course, it's just regular collision.
Yeah, with iRacing, it's definitely a regular collision.
And Stream Elements already has a command for Davies. Wreck it Ryan, aka getting Davies. You just been Davies.
That's pretty funny. It's a pretty good command right there.
Only the best around here. Taking the wide lines, getting as much scrub through those tires. It's one thing I've noticed as well. I'm not sure when this happened, but it was a while back. I noticed that AM drivers, their number board is red / kind of orange. You can see the flashing one on the front of Tup's car there. It's orange when it's an AM driver. Polar gradient
Oh,
chat.
that is pretty nice.
Polar gradient chat is actually a setting you can change in the server settings, but to turn it on would catch out a lot of fogs for collisions in the formation lap. I did not know that was possible in ACC. If you're referring to ACC, which I would assume you're referring to ACC.
That would make sense that you could actually adjust that in the server settings for like the admin perspective, I guess you'd say.
I just thought it was a baked-in feature of the game. I didn't know it was something toggleable, but that would be funny just to turn on one day and just watch the carnage in the formation lap.
Oh my. If you didn't say anything in the driver's briefing, there would definitely be a few people in the pits, I feel like.
It's just very amusing. It's the same with going into the pits, because collision turns off in the pits as well.
Yeah, that was something I had to learn in iRacing, was how the collision in the pits worked. Because there's collision and then there's not collision. And I've definitely made the mistake of trying to go through somebody when there was collision.
Yeah, I think as you're going through the pits there's collision, but when someone's in their box there's no collision, so you can kind of go through them to get into your box.
Yeah, there's like a dividing line, pretty much.
As everyone goes double file through the last few corners. Who do you think is going to take the win tonight?
That's a tough question for me, honestly.
In this field, it's a quite hard question when you don't know everyone too well.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's just say the top 4 are very fast. It could be any one of them.
Yeah, I mean, Tut Gibson, he put a pole in really quick, got it taken away from him, and then took it back. So I'm feeling confident in him.
Green light, green light.
Green light, here we go. See everyone scrambling. There's already a big collision that AMG has span around. Another on the left side there. That is gone horribly bad. That's very unfortunate. Can I get a view of that? Oh, dear lord. As the GT4s all pile in, completely unaware. That's very
Breaks the one on the left, guys.
bad. Looks like a good chunk of the field did manage to make it through, though. But that is... yeah, that's not a lot of cars that made it through. And there's more crashing going on
oh
behind.
my.
This is not going too well. So everyone's slowing down. I think they might be doing a race restart.
Looking like we have a yellow, or at least an agreed yellow, we'll say.
You can see everyone going to slow speed. It seems like, yep, might be getting a race restart here. That was a very bad start there.
I was wondering if any of those GT4 guys up at the front of the pack got through that. They were off to the races, that's for sure, because I'd say at least 2/3 of the GT4 pack looked like they got caught up in that.
And here we go for the race restart. It's not a common thing. It's not a common thing you see around here, but that was an awful start.
Yeah, that is definitely one of the joys of sim racing, being able to rewind a couple $1 million worth of damage and have everybody right back ready to go.
Yeah, in the year and a half that I've been a part of oNiD and done racing, I've never seen a start that bad before. Not as a slight to the drivers, of course. That's gone very poorly.
Yeah, that was just I think, just time and place kind of thing. Somebody up front, and then just the blindness of everybody being in line on the start. You just kind of train track right into it.
That's what happens when you've got 48 cars on the grid and a crash happens in the front pack. It all piles up. That was yeah, that might be a YouTube Shorts moment.
Yeah, that was definitely a interesting start. But we're gonna line it back up and get it going again. Hopefully, this second time we'll get away a little bit cleaner.
The chat is roasting everyone. It was like a public lobby race. T1 Monza all
I,
the way. Yeah, that doesn't
I was about
show
to
us in the
say,
best of light, but I can promise you that this is not a regular occurrence.
yeah, I'm sure everybody will be taking a little bit more cautious of an approach this time into turn one, hopefully, realizing that they do have a full hour of racing and not just one straightaway.
Yeah, that's it's something that you have to learn when you're doing races like this. You gotta take it easy in the first lap. Can't just be making dumb moves. There's a whole hour of racing.
Yep. To finish first, you first must finish, right?
They need to chill out, says Javier in chat. Yep. Right call from race control. Yep, too.
30 seconds.
Dave Zalecki, who's in the race, says was a collision near the front that caused it basically blocked the track entirely, and we all had nowhere to go.
20 seconds.
Yeah, it was. There was nowhere to go.
I agree, the track was blocked all the way across.
Yeah, we had this camera view just to see that the entire thing was just a car pile up. It was not good. But attempt 2 time now. They'll be starting formation lap now. As you can see, almost said Shahabi. Tut Gibson moving away. Time for formation lap round 2 and a race start round 2. And if they balls this one up, then I bet you will not be another restart.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if that happens again, we'll just be continue rolling green.
Yeah, let's just hope that does not happen. We all make mistakes. That was quite a big one. Move on and let it not happen again.
We'll see. The bonus is half the field already got their mistake out of the way with that one, so we should be golden on this next one, right?
You get your 1 mistake per race. You ruined the race and now it's race 2.
Hypothetically, this should be green start to end. No incidents, nothing, because everybody's got that mistake out of there.
Let's have a look at some of the people down the field. A lot of cars.
That is quite the train of cars coming down that straightaway, isn't it?
Everyone doing the weaving. Johnny Ashley with the Bentley. See, that's one thing with the GT4s as well, is they don't have tyre warmers and so start on cold tyres, but a formation lap is more than enough to get your tyres up to pressure. Even up to temperature, sure, but even up to pressure, because with GT3s I find I can rarely ever get them in the pressure window by the end of the formation lap unless I'm absolutely ruining the tyres. Had a quick glance at the whole field now. Move up to the front. Tut Gibson. Naum. Got a question in chat. Ash Hill, what's the best all-round GT3 in ACC for a noob? I would feel like more of a stable car, so... the new cars are very not stable, let's just say that. So probably the Aston Martin, I would say, was a very good car.
I always liked the BMW, and I'm definitely a noob, but I haven't played the game in a while, so I don't know if it is still like the same when driving it, you know, as forgivable, so to
I think
say.
it's had a few changes and it's a bit more nippy. Just kind of depends on what kind of noob are you. Are you new to sim racing or just new to ACC? Because if you can handle a car, then I would pick one of the new DLC cars like the Ferrari 296, 720S Evo, the new Porsche 996, 992, numbers.
You know, the ones with all the numbers at the end.
They all have numbers. It's always 99 something.
I know, right? When are we gonna cross over into the thousands?
I don't think they ever will. But you can definitely see the front of the field is mostly new cars. In fact, top 9 are all new cars because the Mercedes GT3 got a update with 1.9 as well. So, round 2.
Green light,
Green light, here we go. Let's see how it goes this time. Got a few cars darting around already, but it looks clean so far. Looks like we've got a good start this time.
Yeah, definitely looking like everybody got it figured out for that second start and just kind of
Got
fell
a
into
few
line.
yellow flags back here. Ooh. Johnny Ashley just got clipped as they returned to garage. Ooh, got a bit of a pile up here. Looks like something unfortunate happened a bit further back. There's a few GT3s involved in most of the GT4 field there. That's very unfortunate.
Right as I was saying, it was looking pretty clean. Of course that happens.
Front field looks like they're just leaving behind as well. Yeah, the new 720S Evo is quite snappy, but learning how to set up a car and mostly with the anti-roll bars, you can really tune a lot of the snappiness out. Does take a bit of learning to do, but is quite good. And yes, we did see the crash behind. We saw that.
Yep, definitely the commentator's curse. It is super strong in the
Giant train of
AC
cars here,
side.
though. Curse of the commentator. Yes. I merely think about something and it happens.
Yeah, I swear, I go to mention somebody's name, and before I can get their name out, they're backwards, and it's like, I give up.
Got a nice, beautiful train of cars here, though. Looks like gaps are starting to fill. We've got another yellow flag. Tomlinson messing at the bus stop there, but keeps it going straight.
Got the nice caribou livery on that. Definitely
Yeah.
gotta say, one of my favorite gummy bears out there.
Oh, I do love me some Haribos. Very, very popular over here, I'll say that.
Yeah, they I mean, they got a whole bunch of them, but I don't know, they definitely have one of the better quality ones, we'll say. There's some gummy bears out there that are questionable in my book.
Gonna get a quick replay on that. Got a collision between two GT4s, I think, there. Camaro and the Alpine. Camaro looks like it's going to dive on the inside. Just a bit of a tap going into the bus stop there.
Yeah, almost looked looked like he was going for it, and then last second possibly second guessed it, but it was too late.
Just a minute, it touched too late on the brakes. That Camaro can be pretty quick. I've won races in it, but it is a boat in steering.
Yeah,
and
I'm
that
sure
Alpine
it's.
is super nimble, so that Alpine can turn super early and maneuver great. And next to a Camaro that can barely turn is not a great recipe.
I'm sure the Alpine has the Camaro beat on the braking as well.
I think for the most part the GT4 brakes are about even. Leighton Austin making a move on Young here. Evening Extreme Beef, Simon Harris. Looks like it's going to be a good race from now, but we had a bit of a big oopsie and had a race restart. Not the greatest sign, but we move on. We learn from our mistakes, yes?
Seems that everybody did, except for the couple guys in the back of the pack, possibly.
We had a few people return to garage. We've got Scrub coming out, currently in last place, I believe a lap down. Just making his way through the GT4 field. I was just about to jump to someone else who was behind before Scrub, but they ended up leaving, so that's it's not good. You can also see
Pit window is open.
pit windows now open, but you can see Johnny Ashley in 33rd amidst the GT4 field. Chill and Guertin as well. So had quite a few big ones there.
Yeah, so what was that, five total, but now we got 4 fighting their way back through the pack, through the GT4s.
Indeed. Let's see, we've got a bit of a fight going on here as well. Young and catching Tut could be interesting. Is he? He got past? Oh, what happened to... What? What happened to Leighton Austin? These two were side by side earlier, and now Leighton Austin's in 10th. Something bad must have happened, don't know. Oh.
Yeah, definitely. Austin had a good start. Got off the line good and covered off second position really well.
Hello, Stevie Bang. Our resident drive-through master. Tell us, Mr. Steve Bain, the resident drive-through master, how long is a drive-through in Watkins Glen? Inform us on this. Currently no penalties in the race so far, which is it's great to see. It's only been 7 minutes, but, you know, it's great to see. Ooh, got Ollie Knowles, yellow flag. Oh, he's gone round. Let's get a quick replay on that one. Must have lost it at the bus stop. He must have. I missed it. Careful on the rejoin.
That is a very precarious place to try to get out of, especially being in that angle is very odd.
Yeah, and because I thought it just happened, I did a 15-second replay, but he was stuck there for 15 seconds. Just because of how precarious that spot is. Let's see, let's move up the field. We've got Leighton Austin catching up Tomlinson, making his way back through the field. Still not sure what happened to him, but doesn't look like there's any damage on the car. He must have just lost it around one of the corners. The rear does look a little bit damaged, but that could also be dirt.
Yeah, I wonder if he jumped or was pushed, kind of thing.
42 seconds? Actually, Stevie Bain doesn't know. Let's get a ride on. Now this is a sound I have heard way too much, because I think throughout most of 1.8 I mained the Aston before the 296 came out.
It does sound good though. Yeah, the Aston definitely sounds good.
The engine sounds in this game are pretty spectacular.
The other thing that I really enjoy about this game are the graphics. It just, I don't know, for some reason, it looks the best to me out of all the top sims right now, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, it's just the power of Unreal Engine 4. And of course, Rennsport running on Unreal Engine 5. That was one of their main selling points when they announced the game, which I found really funny. But Unreal Engine 5, if done right, can look spectacular.
Yeah, I haven't looked too much into that. I don't know. I kind of like waiting until it's on the market kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on my beta key. Let's have a quick look
You
at
know,
my email.
everything sounds great when it's coming soon, right?
I do not have Rensport beta. Oh yeah, Jongen currently fastest lap and catching Tuck Gibson quite rapidly here. This will be a fight to watch soon enough. Let's have a look down some more. Got Alex Shahabi catching Adam Gardner.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it looks like Earl might be closing in on the back of them too.
Yeah,
A
looks
little
like it's going to
three-way
be
battle for fourth.
it looks like it's going to be a giggity three-way.
Job for him. We've got a three-way here.
As the saying goes.
That neon green on Shahabi's car is pretty nice. I like that. I don't know if you consider that neon green. I don't really know.
It's kind of like a neon lime, sick green. Very vibrant though. Very fluorescent.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Very fluorescent. That's the word I was thinking of. Fluorescent.
You can definitely see it from far away, and you definitely know who you're looking at. Like an alien green.
Yeah, it's different than all the other greens, that's for sure. Looks pretty cool.
So Leighton Austin did get past Tomlinson, is now on the behind of Sergei Filenko. Ooh, Jongen, 0.2 seconds behind Tuck Gibson and in the midst of a GT4 field. This is going to be an interesting fight. And that is Coupland diving into the pits there, I think. Yep. Making an early stop.
That's a pretty early stop now. Only 15 minutes into it. But I assume he's definitely going to be jumping onto a harder set of tires now.
Just the one set of tyres in these.
Is there only the one set? Oh yeah, that's right. ACC, my bad.
Yeah. But yeah, you can definitely make a tyre set last about 70, 80 minutes. 90 minutes if you're really pushing it, but you do lose a lot of pace around about 40 minutes in, so he'll be jumping onto a fresh set of tyres after only 12 minutes, and he's got to run them for 48. Unless he does a double stop, which I don't think will work too well.
Well, speak for yourself with the whole 70-minute thing. I'd probably get 25 out of a set.
The last Sunday league that we did, we had 75-minute races with 2 mandatory stops but no mandatory tyre change. So no one changed tyres.
Is the time like penalty, not time penalty, but you know the time it takes to change them that bad?
It's 30 seconds to change a set of tyres. But you
Yeah,
can
that's pretty significant.
You can stick most of the fuel in your car early on and go into the pits, and you can have a 5-second stop just putting the fuel in. Because all you need to do is stop, put a litre of fuel in and drive off. Hello, studio team. Hello, Sim Racer. That's someone. No idea who. You are Sim Racer. Hello, we are Sim Racers.
Got a whole lot of them out on track too.
48 of them. Actually, no, I think we've lost a few, so we're now down to 47. We lost 1. Not too bad after the first 13 minutes. Oh, got Leighton Austin in the pits as well. Another early stopper.
Man, they aren't even waiting until a quarter of the race. These guys got confidence in their tire saving capabilities.
I think it's also to try and move out of the way of the GT4 field, get a bit of open air.
Yep, that is very, very smart actually. If you're getting bogged down in the traffic, you might as well try to find a clear spot.
Sim Racer is Gislev. Now I know.
Hey, I know that guy.
But another good point is brought up by Edition Dutch, who I'd used to know who was, but I forgot because I have small brain. Young in 1.1 behind Tut Gibson now is lapping GT4s. Very crucial, very important for a victory, which will be the whole season, because this is a whole season of multi-class 1 hour races. Oh, there's a bit of contact. Oh dear. The way you said early stopper there wanted me to start singing the Portland Bill theme tune.
That was quite the brave block, I would say, right there by Tut on Yongen. How do you pronounce his name, or their name?
I mean, I've never been told, I believe it is Jongen. Well,
They've
if
definitely
they're
closed the
Dutch,
gap up.
yeah, if they're Dutch, which I would believe they are, considering they're racing for a Dutch endurance team with Dutch flags all over the car, and a very Dutch-sounding name, it means we're wrong. If you try and pronounce anything Dutch, you're wrong. That's just the rule and thumb of it. I lived in the
Usually how it
Netherlands for
goes.
6 months. I know. Oh, they're getting very close. Tut Gibson is closing the door on Young in there. Some real dirty driving here.
Yeah, definitely. I wonder if he just thinks that he got caught because of the traffic, and now he wants to try to clear away with a little, with a little bit of space he's got ahead of him.
Your favourite Dutch last name to pronounce. That narrows it down a little bit. Oh, yeah, no, I remember now. Can you see the chat?
Yeah, there's no way. I would see that would be a name that I would hand off to Aiden, our other commentator, and be like, here you go, buddy, all yours.
Jongen definitely is a wrong'un. I can see this ending in tears. I believe I remember someone saying it's just Browning. Or like that's how you would just say it, or just an easier way of saying it, or just call me that, or something along those lines. But yeah.
Wait, instead of saying that, say Browning?
Something like that. It was a while ago that I heard that.
Oh, that would throw me off so much worse.
I mean, yours throws me off a little bit.
I just tell people to say whatever they want. I'll understand it. I get it.
I mean, I read it and I think Burhout, but then you told me it's Burwheat.
Yeah, the H isn't pronounced, and like the T really isn't even pronounced either if you're like in France.
Yeah, Burwheat.
Yeah, it's really weird. I remember the first time I ever went over to France to meet my cousins and hearing them pronounce it. I looked at my dad. I'm like, yeah, you haven't been pronouncing our name right like my entire life.
Edition Dutch going to drive the Tourenwagen Masters, which I believe I'm a part of as well. Oh, what day is that on? I've got a yellow flag, Colin Cameron. Oh no, my friend. Let's get a replay of that and let's watch my friend die. Get a nice passenger cam. I went a bit far back, but we'll get the whole story.
From start to finish.
So one thing with Colin Cameron as well is he drives only in VR, so when things like this happen, he's experiencing it. Oh, that is really unfortunate. The curb just massively unsettled the car there. Oh my goodness, what is this? Why did the screen just go white?
That was
yes.
exceptionally bright.
Yeah, that was weird. Yes, the Tourenwagen Masters are in the next Tuesday league after the Team Cup finishes, which I believe is this Tuesday is the last round. I think I've chosen the Porsche. My game is lagging. Interesting. Ooh, it's getting quite choppy. Get wrecked, lol. And I think Colin will be taking his stop now. Yes, that is correct. So it was a mighty hefty hit there.
Yeah, I mean, The one takeaway is he got it around backwards and didn't damage the nose of it. I don't really know how like specific the damage model is, but I would assume having nose damage over tail
Ooh, we
damage is
just
worse.
lost Chatburn there. I think the exact same thing, once again, a 296. So I think that curb is just knocking 296s out. It must be whatever
Uh,
setup these guys are running, because look, bonk, round he goes. With hefty nose
Uh,
impact on that one.
Was there contact with the
I don't think
with
there
the
was
McLaren
contact.
there or no?
I think he just span it around on the curb there.
That, yeah, just coming in too hot. Maybe got some brakes and curb.
Yes, as we're talking in chat now with Edition Dutch, I did pick the 992 because it's the new DLC car that I have not driven the most. So I've driven the 296 a lot because that's the main car I'm driving now. Driven the 720S Evo for the Spa 12 hours and then the Moza 6 hour at Spa. Drove the Lambo for Silverstone Endurance. So the 992 is just the one that I haven't driven yet, so that's going to be interesting to learn. Still better than the 991.2, because that thing was just hell on the rears. These two are still going at it over here.
Yeah, Tut is putting up quite the fight. As they split a GT4 right there. Oh my.
Got very close there. They're still both going straight though, which is the most important thing. They've been fighting for laps, but they're still going straight.
Yep, definitely both cars are going in the right direction, but they're both probably about an inch or two narrower.
There's definitely a second or two of damage on their car, which is very minimal and is to be expected. We also saw a very broken Mercedes oNiD racing car in front there. I believe that is Zalecky.
In their battling, actually,
Yeah.
third place is closed up on him, it looks like.
It was very close for the Alpine. 992 equals death law thing is so twitchy. Oh, wonderful.
They keep fighting like they do. They're gonna have another contender in the ring with Gardner there. He's not very far off.
Yeah, he is right there. That's him, right there. What happened
This is
to Shahabi? Where is Shahabi? Shahabi is 18th. He took an early stop, it would seem. He's currently lead pack in terms of taking a pit stop. So I think he's going okay. He's just stopped early. We've also got Glen just a little bit further back, making his way through, who was P3 when he stopped, so it's gone well for Shahabi there. Megan Austin also was in the fight, right behind. We've got the two Pulsing Sports right next to each other. Splitting Johnny Ashley down the middle with Matt Holdman. Let's see. Oh! Jongen in the pits. I just noticed the gap disappeared, so now it's Gardner and Tut Gibson fighting each other. It's about a 1.2 second gap at the moment.
I think that might have been a smart decision, honestly. I feel like he possibly has some pace over Tut and was getting held up there.
Yeah, these two just swap position, Wacker and Earl. But yeah, that definitely was the right move to take the stop then. You can see how much further ahead he's come out, because he's out on track now. Where is he to? There he is. See, he's out on track. He's got 3 cars between him and then Shahabi. They really made headways. Oh, no, now 2 cars.
Yeah, I was looking at actually Coupland and Austin.
Oh wait, no.
Cause,
It was just catching up. That's Shahabi side by side with Jongen right now.
Shahabi made up a
Ooh,
lot of
just
time then, taking that early stop.
Earl back in a Porsche, it would seem. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. Oh, that's another big one. I think that's the exit at the bus stop. Nope, that's that left-hander after the straight. Let's get a replay of that. So it's just after the bus stop.
Yeah, what is that? The heel of the boot.
Yeah, the boot part. Not my favourite part of Watkins Glen, but I do love Watkins Glen.
That turn
Oh,
is
just
so
run a bit
tricky.
wide, got on the curb, just like we saw in practice earlier. No, qualifying earlier. Does
Yeah, it's
rejoin okay, then gets going.
definitely a tricky turn with his downhill braking and downhill, throughout it.
We've got Jongen catching up on a pack of cars fighting for position here. Both Watson and Cheel are next to each other on track as Jongen goes wide and knocks. Ooh. I'm not so sure about that one. I think Jongen was definitely alongside, and I think that was Cheel. That was Cheel and Dealey just went into Jongen there. I'm sure that will be looked at by the stewards after the race. Also got John Earl. I clicked, misclicked. John Earl in the pits coming out now. Everything's jumping around as I try and click on things. Alex Gardner now. Adam Gardner, my mistake, catching up on Tut Gibson as well.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Gibson possibly burned his tires out fighting super hard, and Gardner just is kind of reaping the benefits right now.
There's so much action been going on in the GT3 field that I've neglected to look at the GT4 in a while, so let's have a look at the GT4 leader. It's the Janetta at the moment. Got Ticehurst, who's made their stop. Got Lindblom and Martin Thorpe in the pits. Scrub is still in last place. I think he's just about to unlap himself from the GT4s in the pits at the moment. But good on him for keep going. Must have had a bad start.
Yeah, definitely had to been
Ooh.
caught up in that crash at the beginning.
Leighton Austin has gone round, I believe. Yes, he has. That's fortunate. Let's get a replay on that one. Also, my woes of TV Cam 1 there, because you couldn't see him.
Yeah, the blind spot.
So just going wide around the outside of a Camaro there. Camaro understeers and just knocks him. And the two Pulse cars come together. That Porsche just narrowly missed, and that's when we saw Jonathan Earl coming round. Not the smartest move to spin the wheels there. He just whacked his rear and probably gave himself a bit more damage. We've also got Chatburn, yellow flag, must have lost it at the bus stop. There was another car there. Oh, there's quite a few yellow flags right now. Looks like there's quite a mess.
It looks like it's all coming apart.
Let's have a look at this car here. Go back 30 seconds. Ooh, yeah, starts losing it. He lost it all on his own there, and there's just more going on. He runs across the track. I think the McLaren that I swapped over to was missing the corner and just went round through the bollards in the centre of the bus stop. I don't think nothing bad happened, but there was quite a few yellow flags there. Just a whole bit of a whoopla.
It might be arguable that he was out of control from the time he was touched and just held on to it to the scene of the crash, I feel like. Because he was sideways through the first two turns for sure.
Yeah, he was losing the car there, I would think, but didn't hit anything. No one else hit him. Just had one go wide, one missed the bus stop. It's just a lot of yellow flags going on. I thought something bad happened, but just a culmination of a series of effects. But we've got Leighton Austin here trying to get past Matt Holman, who, as I swapped to, was bouncing right over the bus stop. Got another yellow flag and a return to pits. No, okay, they're just yellow flags as they were going into the pits. Okay, it does that sometimes. Oh, and they swap places. Right as I looked away.
It looks like Gibson actually pitted and is still have a 5-second gap over Yoggin, so it's looking like he actually made that work staying out a little bit later.
He did indeed, and I think it's just the fighting that Jongen had to do with some of the GT4 field that lost him some time, but it will be interesting to see where Adam Gardner comes out when he comes into the pits, because them two were fighting close and the gap kept going up and down, up and down. Let's have a look at the GT4 field fight right now. We've got Ian Hall catching up to Vidoni. Got to go. See you gents in the next event. Good night. And good night, Edition Dutch. With the greatest last name on earth. Just had a swap for position with Jonathan Earl and Watson. Ollie Knowles and Glen side by side, and Ashley Coupland gets ahead. A lot of people passing through traffic at the moment here, as everyone goes into having done a pit stop and not having done a pit stop. Young and still fastest lap, still... Ooh, no, Shahabi is catching. Still 5 seconds off of Tuck Gibson now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where Gardner comes out after their pit stop.
Yeah. Just hitting the halfway point in the race now, so halfway through the pit window as well. There it is. Quite a lot of the field have taken their stop in the first half hour. See quite a few more people in the pits there. We've got Deutsch, Knowles, ML, Vidoni, Hall, Zelecki and Smith all in the pits at the moment.
Looks like the track temp also has crawled up a couple degrees as well.
Now 40 degrees on track, still an ambient 30 degrees, but the cloud has cleared away, so it's now just sunny. Still no wind. So quite a few gaps forming on track now. We've hit that point in the race. We do have Matt Holman still relatively close to Leighton Austin.
Both of them have pitted also, so definitely going to be a battle to the end.
Sean Hunt coming into the pits there, going very slowly, making absolute certain that the pit limiter is on and no penalties. As Dave Selecki pops in chat and says, dead. I saw it a few times, yes. Very unfortunate. So still the top three still have yet to pit. Tomlinson currently in the pits. He's now currently in 11th.
Is the majority of them, are they changing tires, or is it a mandatory tire, or are they just doing fuel?
I actually do not know. Looking at everyone's stop time, I'm seeing about 30 seconds on everyone, unless there was damage, so... Though I am seeing someone with 29 seconds, someone with 26. Though that could be already done your stop and just repairing damage. As Sergei Filenko gets a stop go 30, that's not very good.
Yeah, I actually just noticed that as well. Looked like they tumbled down a few spots on the board as well.
I'm getting a yellow flag on Zabo here. It doesn't say he's in the pits. Very interesting. It's also stopping and starting while in the pits. Oh, this thing, very interesting. As Brown and car number 21, I don't want to attempt that, go into the pits now, so I think there's only a few cars left on track who have not gone into their pits. Watson and Ashley in the GT3, if we move down, Seed West. Got H. Brooks in the GT4. Oh, further down here. And G Scrub. We've also got Marco L with a drive-through as well.
It looks like they're possibly serving it as well. They're in the. They said they were in the pits.
Oh, I just caught that. Let's get a quick replay on that one. They just side by side going up the hill there. What do they call that part? Is it the S's or something?
Yeah, the S's.
Yeah, you can see just comes across quite a hefty hit there.
Yeah, I
It's
didn't
fixed
see
time
the.
refueling, I think. Okie doke, you got a confirmation from Stevie Bay.
Okay, that makes sense.
But with the fixed time refueling, I think a lot of people would end up taking tyres. Especially now the ambience moved up to 31, the track's getting quite warm. And Watkins does love to eat your tyres. Especially the lefts.
Yeah, so I'm seeing the cards kind of falling into Gardner's hands here now. I mean,
If he
he's
can keep that pace on these tyres after 35 minutes, then he's going to come screaming out.
yeah, if he comes out on a fresh set of tires, he's going to be a problem for the rest of them, I feel like.
Yeah, the gap between Gardner and Tut right now is 1 minute and 1 second. Which I'm not certain is enough.
Yeah, I guess the only crossover, right, is how much time has he lost to the new tires compared to how much is he gained from, you know, not getting stuck in a battle.
Well, it's certainly very interesting. Jonathan Earl is in the pits once more after that collision in the S's. That must have been quite a hefty bit of damage there. Into his box. Let's have a look. Got Jan Wacker. Not sure if he's catching up to Coupland or Coupland has just got past, but these two are certainly close to each other. Also got Matt Holman on the back of Watson.
Watson actually hasn't pitted yet, it looks like, so.
As not indeed, as Holman does get very cleanly past there. Watson must have just let him through. There's no fight going on, so why waste time doing so?
I think the battle for Watson is between him and Johnny now. That's probably what he's just gonna mirror. Whenever Johnny goes in, he'll dive in.
Yeah, still got Johnny out on the track. Very clean looking Bentley, so it looks like he stayed out of trouble. I think he did an early stop after a collision, so he's doing well.
Yeah, he was definitely caught up in that first lap mishap.
So he's obviously had to take a stop early to fix that damage. Hence why he's running for longer, because it's the smart move to make. Oh, where's that?
Gardner's still out there on the first set of tires. Well, I'm assuming they're going to be changing them.
Oh dear, that's not gone particularly well. Let's see which GT4 was that. That was nope. It's just jumped me randomly on track. Thank you very much, King. Oh, now I've lost it. I think
You're going to watch them
Hearn.
now.
Yes, Hearn. Let's go back 30 seconds. So coming into T1, Hearn starts turning and clabbers Austin there. Bit of a racing incident, but then they get going again, and Leighton Austin just bonk. I don't think
It's as if they had magnets.
Yeah. Definitely don't see the intentionalness of that, but that was just rather amusing. They just sucked into each other.
when lines collide 2 times.
Wacker still on the back of Coupland here. As the GT4 moves very much out of the way.
Yep, they definitely
Gardner
wanted
has
nothing to do
pitted
with that.
and has come out in 3rd place. It's getting very close between these two. The Ferrari has the legs on him down the straight there. He got alongside, but I think the Ferrari just managed just to edge out ahead there towards the top speed. Ooh, my brother got a few seconds of screen time. And who might that be? Watson diving into the pits now, so I think the only person on track who hasn't pitted is Johnny Ashley, maybe even Scrub. Yep, Scrub as well, so it's just Johnny Ashley and Scrub to pit now with 20 minutes to go, 15 minutes of the pit window.
Looks like there's another stop and
As
go
Scrub?
30
No,
coming
okay, no.
out.
Just taking a very narrow line there to avoid the GT4. Go ahead.
P27 has a stop and go 30, it looks like.
They had that a little bit ago now. I think they're just serving it now. I think it was the last lap they had the opportunity to.
Yeah, the three laps that you're allotted.
Yep. That's a scary thing to come out to. Leaving the pits and there's just a swarm of cars around you.
Yep, and the going up the S's isn't the most forgiving area to jump into on into a full pack ready, already racing together.
Looks like we've got quite a fight going on here. It's a three-way between Holman, Austin, and Ashley. With Dave Zalecki and Lindblom, who are backmarkers, of course. Just there to spice things up.
Yeah, Johnny's definitely leading the pack out there. Hasn't taken his pit stop yet, so he's technically not in this battle.
But,
But,
knowing
he's
Johnny Ashley,
electing.
he doesn't move for anyone.
Yeah, I was about to say, he still has the track position, so.
It's been very funny sometimes when I'm racing and someone behind me is faster, and I'm like, I'm gonna let them through when they get through, but I'm not just gonna back off to let them through, and then they never get through.
Yep, exactly. It's
So I'm not defending, but you're not attacking, so I guess we're just here now.
yeah, exactly. We'll just train up and keep going. I always can't stand when you let them through because you're like, oh man, they caught me so fast. Like, I'll just let them go and follow them, and then next thing you know, it's like you're on their bumper, and it's like, were they faster than me?
I wonder when Johnny Ashley's going to make his stop. Because he could stop right now just to... Nah, he doesn't. But he could stop right now just to be able, like, screw you to the guys behind. Like, I held you up this whole lap and then I'm diving into the pits. I think he's just going to keep going.
Yeah, oh no.
Matt Holman does make a dive on Leighton Austin there and does get cleanly through, and that GT4 is going to hold up Austin there. So that is a clean done and dusted. But I think
very assertive, but very clean.
I think Austin is going to make his way through here. He's going to squeeze on through. But there's a GT4 in the way. Oh, they go 3 wide.
Oh no.
So Leighton Austin back past Matt Holman there, but still behind Johnny Ashley.
Making that big old Boatley nice and wide.
Very Boatley. There's no blue flags waving here. He has track position. Just because he's out of pit stop, he's still, you know, they've still got to make the move. It's polite just to let them through, but it's not mandatory. You can hold them up if you want to.
Definitely not mandatory. He is locked in a battle with somebody somewhere on the track that's pitted before him, so.
It keeps him under pressure and keeps him going fast.
Yeah, maybe it's helping him, you know, pay less attention to those worn out tires and just try to push.
Every time they get close enough to make a move, another GT4 appears just to make it extra hard. And now Johnny Ashley dives into the pits.
I was just thinking that it was like every time they'd get a run, there'd be one or two little GT4s just, please don't run me over.
So, yeah, General Scrub has made their stops, and now Johnny Ashley was the last to stop, so now everyone has made their stop. As Jan Watkins gone off track there. Oof. Having to do the turnaround on the pit exit there as GT4 comes around, and I missed it. I went 30 seconds back. He has lost a lot of time here. Missed the accident, but it does show how long he's just been here. Which means what happens here, because he was going straight. He just runs over the curb, the tires get in the air, spin up, spins round.
That is just insult to injury if I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
Those are the worst incidences when you're like, come on, just get going, and then you're backwards again, and it's like, oh no.
Yeah, it happens in the 296 all the time. You have a bit of an accident or you have a bit of spin. You try and get going again, and at a certain RPM range in first gear, the car just rotates, just spins up and spins back around again.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you want to go? We'll go around in circles.
And of course, there's just any car if you're on the grass and you try and floor it.
Yeah, the grass is
So let's
definitely
see
not
where
your
Ashley
friend.
came out. Ashley came out 22 seconds behind Simoas, 4 seconds ahead of Ryu. So he's in his own little battle now.
Yeah, I mean, he's moved himself up to 16th, so from, you know, being all the way at the tail end of the GT4 pack, he's done some work.
And Jonathan now just made his way past P. Maffey there, and now just behind a bunch of people who were a lap ahead of him, because I think that's Adam Gardner in front of him there. It's always the worst having a bit of an accident and ending up a lap down and being behind someone you're quicker than, but they're blue flags to you.
Yeah, well, I mean, the lapper does have the right to take the lap back, but you do have to be fairly confident in your pace to not then impede that person you just passed.
Gap between these two has increased a bit, but they're still pretty close to each other after Johnny Ashley went into the pits. I see the car behind is my good friend Colin Cameron. Let's see where he is in position right now. 26th. Oh dear. It makes me sad. Young and Tut Gibson
Definitely,
close to each other once again. This is going to be a tight fight for the next 12 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yep, let's just hope they come across the line facing in the right direction and stay facing in the right direction till then, huh?
Is that a Parker I hear? No. My name is Drinkatatas, and I'm joined by Dominic Berhui. Just going to keep saying it differently every single time.
Just cover all the pronunciations.
Just next time I'll just go Dominic, but why? It's almost the right syllables. But got a
It is pretty close.
got a message from Ryan Davies to have a look at Neu Deutsch. Neu Deutsch. That's also a name, as Watker goes into the pits there with that damage. but I believe I recognise this livery, because I think I helped with it.
Definitely got the oNiD banner on the side there.
Oh yeah, but by help, I mean I just made a few adjustments to it. I didn't actually make it. Though I did make this one.
That one does look good with the red and the black. Definitely a fan of that.
Yeah, that was for the oNiD 24-hour, but this is the non-oNiD 24-hour version of the car. I've made quite a few more liveries, but there's none on track at the moment, let's just say that. Because of course, I make them for me.
Right. Like, these things take some time, guys.
Let's go back to Doig again. Man, I really don't know how to say that name. Because it's like Dodge, but with an I in there. Why is that I there?
That's so funny that you said that, because when I first saw it in the chat on YouTube, I was like, is that a misspelling? And then when you clicked over, I was like, nope, that's not a misspelling.
Gotta hop over here because these two are still fighting like crazy. Even Adam Gardner is catching. Exactly 1 second, 0.9 seconds behind now. It's getting a three-way in the last 10 minutes. It's getting very close.
Yeah. I was actually quite surprised with how far back Gardner dropped off of them. There was one point when they were about 3.5 seconds behind, but closing in rapidly, it looks like.
Oh yeah, just got the message in chat from Stevie Bain asking if the leaders are close, while I'm currently looking at them. Gotta love the YouTube chat delay.
Less than a second between the top three. I'd consider that close, yes, at the end of 50 minutes of racing.
Deutsch. Deutsch. I guess I was saying it right then? I don't know.
So, the way you write it makes me think there's 3 syllables there.
But then it would be Deutsch. Oh, we've got another yellow flag. P13 Hutchinson just gone off. Let's get a quick replay of that one. Oh. Caught the end of it again. But it must have bounced off of the exit curve of the bus stop there and ran a bit wide. Maybe hit the inside curb and span inward. Hit the wall. And hit another wall. You never wanted the... Oh no! The three-way fight has ended in tears.
I always had a sneaking suspicion that might happen. They were just fighting so hard, so early.
Little lag spike there because I was doing the replay before. Let's see. Makes a defensive move. Oh, just a tap in the rear, gets sent on the inside. That's a lot of damage. It's still yellow flagged. He's still sat there. I think he's given up. Or maybe he has a DD wheel and that rightfully hurt.
Yeah, there's that possibility, and there's also the possibility of just not very happy.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would be either, but you know, they were hard fighting. He was making moves in the braking zone. You know, sometimes you gotta expect these things.
Everything looks different after the replay, right? When you're in the heat of the battle, it was like, that was intentional, and I know it.
As Ryan Smith says in chat, he'll buff out.
Yeah, the hefty buffing pad and have a little extra buffing polish. It'll be fine.
I bet you that's only like 30 seconds of damage as well. ACC is quite liberal with, not liberal, but lax with the damage model. It's very forgiving.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I missed switching over to iRacing. Oh my.
Oh yes.
Yeah, the tiniest little bump and it's like 3 minutes of damage and it's like, wait, what, dude? Like, I didn't even touch him.
Yeah, the Daytona 24-hour that we did in the BMW LMDH because it just came out. So now we've got the oh, what's the other one? I keep forgetting. Cadillac. That's it. So we've got the two LMDHs now, but originally it was only the BMW, as you know. During the Daytona 24, just the slightest tap on the wall. 2 minutes optional repair. 5 minutes required. And it's just sat there
It's
in the
just
pits as everyone flies by like, come on. I hit the wall at like 20 miles an hour.
I think they did something. Something happened with the damaged model of one of the vehicles on like the Nürburgring 24, I believe, as well.
Yeah, that was one I really wanted to do, but unfortunately I didn't have the money at the time because I need to buy both of the tracks for that.
Yeah, I know. That's the definite downside to the business model.
Got another three-way here. Alex Shahabi, who was a top pack contender. Ryu and Johnny Ashley. It's a three-way. Johnny Earl in the background makes it past Maffey again. The new Ferrari looks very Lambo-ish from the front. The new Ferrari doesn't look very Ferrari, and that's why I like it.
Really? You think that they? I feel like it still looks kind of like a Ferrari from the front.
A little bit. The back end looks dumb, though. It's like the designer only has the front half side of the car. Tut Gibson
Yeah,
is
it's like
still
we're gonna do the front and give up on the back.
Yeah, we still got Tut Gibson parked up over there. I think that's it's a very big one.
Yeah, that has to. There has to be a possibility of DD related things there. Ashley, though, he's actually climbed up 3 more positions, up into 13th now from 16th after that pit stop.
Getting very tight. Young and Gardner still 1.2 seconds apart. Got Simoes and Hutchinson about a second apart ahead. This fight's still going on, as you very clearly see. Got Jonathan Earl catching up to Ollie Knowles. Down in the GT4 field. It's very spread apart in the GT4 field at the moment. Oh! Just watch Rio just spin around there, and Shahabi making it clean past Johnny Ashley going up through the S's. Not a lot going on track right now with 3 minutes to go. That was the closest big fight.
Just saying that. I was like, it looks like everybody's kind of spread out. Looks like the closest battle really is this right here between Ashley and Shahabi for, what is that, 13th position.
Oh, that move's already been done. But Hutchinson is not far up the road, apparently. Nope, that's 21 seconds. Hutchinson's right next to Simo is in the BMW. The numbers, Mason. What do they mean? The boss will get a nose for being that far up.
Yeah, it fought his way back from a first lap crash too, so very impressive, that's for sure.
Yeah, even being in the top 15, that's half the grid here with a 30 odd car pack. We've had a few people leave. Got another yellow flag over. Oh, that one looks pretty bad. Let's get a replay on that one. Going slowly after the bus stop. Must have just got going again after the bus stop and something else happened. Making a giant dive bomb there. That is very silly.
I
don't know
think
what
there
to make
might
of
have been
that
a
one.
little. The only thing I could see there was the GT4 was unsighted behind all the GT3s, and he was like, "Why is everybody going so slow?" And then it was like GT4.
Still quite the late move to make on the GT4 after just getting going while being surrounded by a mass pile of other GT3s, but hey ho. Jonathan Earl gets past Ollie Knowles. Pork v Pork. Chatburn getting past Watson there. Ooh, actually, the gap between Jongen and Gardner has shrunk down to the last minute of the race to go. I believe they're going to get one more lap after this.
Wait, when did Gardner get around?
When Tuck Gibson crashed, I think
Oh,
Gardner
yeah,
slipped
yeah,
past
yeah.
Jongen. Just have a, yeah. Just to go over the GT4 field, since I haven't really shown them much love, and I love the GT4 field, but it's been pretty quiet today, but let's go through. We've got Ticehurst in the lead, Plaza in second in the Ginetta, Jelinek in the McLaren, Brooks in the Alpine, Lindblom in the Maserati.
Leaders on final lap now.
Yep, final lap, 15 seconds to go. Very spread out. I'll be surprised if there's any moves. Jelinek is only 2 seconds behind Plaza in the Ginetta. That's a lapped GT4 he's passing now. Let's move back up to Jongen. Just about a second behind Gardner at the moment. Hutchinson and Samos for 11th and 12th are trading positions at the moment as well. Sure has quietened down right at the end of the race when you'd expect everything to pick up.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of the luck of the draw, right? With these longer races, sometimes they stay together and sometimes they fan out.
There's been a lot of action throughout there. Track conditions have changed a bit. You know, ambient 31, track 41, and we've got 1 km/h over wind. It's been not windy this entire race, and then the wind decides to pick up now.
Right in the last lap. Definitely, Yagan closed in about 3/10, but I just think he's gonna run out of real estate.
Yep, coming through the last 2 corners now. That's round 1 complete. Adam Gardner is your victor of round 1 Watkins Glen with the oNiD Multiclass World Cup. I hope I said the name right. Jongen takes P2, and bringing up the rear we've got Ashley Coupland. Still quite a ways back here. Johnny Ashley does take 14th as well. Will Jongen be penalised for his murder attempt on the old race leader? Well, I'm certainly not the one responsible for that field, but I definitely think that will be looked into. I don't think Tut Gibson was very happy he sat there for a while.
Yeah, I think there was definitely a statement made with remaining in that position for as long as they did. I'd rather, you know, they didn't come back out onto track and interrupt the race in any way, but I think that was definitely a statement of like, what was that, man?
Yeah, it will all be looked at, especially the carnage that was the first race attempt. I think.
Yeah, that was that I want to see some replays of that.
Let's freaking go, Carlos Pizza. SimRacing Esports P2, nice. Yep, here comes Plaza. takes it, second place. In the Ginetta, baby. And there we go. And as the chat pops up, you can see Johnny Ashley's angry words. There we go.
Yeah.
Top 5 for GT3. Gardner, Jongen, Coupland, Tomlinson and Holman. Top 5 for GT4. Ticehurst, Plaza, Jelinek, Brooks and Lindblom. Very eventful first race of the championship here. I think there's going to be quite a shuffle around of people for the next race. I'm going to switch to this screen here. And I'm going to bring up the highlights.
Yep. Got chat saying that Johnny and Ben are gonna be having some fun doing reports.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't believe. Do they get to I mean, obviously they have a say on the incident they were involved in, but do they get to have a say on the stewarding, so to say, because they were involved in the race?
Yeah, I think they still do it just fine. But yeah, usually a few eyes have a look at it. Oh, you see that car going there? Ooh. Whoa! That's all the carnage we missed at the start before. I only caught the end of it.
Yeah, it looks like there's actually a few different instances. One up at the
There's
top
Johnny
of the
Ashley.
S and one at the bottom.
Just saw Johnny Ashley in the background going off. But yes, there was a red flag. The race was restarted because there was a ginormous pile-up before turn 1.
Yeah, the entire track was blocked. I'd say about 100 yards past the start-finish line.
And we got red flag, restart. Bit of a cleaner start. A few people got collected in the S's and race resumed from there. But I would say probably about 70% of the field was caught up in that red flag incident. It was a completely blocked track and everyone just kept piling in because they couldn't see it. Just think if you've ever watched a race where someone in like the front field stalls their car at the start and everyone's flying past, and then that one ends up clabbering into the back of them because they can't see them. There's kind of a bit of that. It's very scary.
If you've ever seen that the famous replay from that Macau race, it was something like that.
Yeah, it's unfortunately quite a lot of that. But we're gonna finish up here. Thank you very much for joining us for round 1. We'll see you next week. Any final words?
That was good racing. Thanks to everybody who stopped by and watched, and hopefully we'll see you back here next week.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.